Hey, what's up YouTube? It has been highly requested from my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel to make a build guide for Gunslinger and PvP. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to try to go as quick as possible because there's a lot to cover and even more than I can cover in one video, but I want to make it quick for you guys. So I'm going to go over how to build Gunslinger and PvP. And I would say I'm going to keep it within limits. There's more here than I can explain, but I think how I want to build Gunslinger, I can show everything I would like to do in this video. So to start off, I'm going to show you basically the cookie cutter Korean build, which I would describe as the least amount of utility, but the most amount of damage. So they get 10 points into Last Request. They take the quick prep, execution, volley, and that just makes the skill do big damage, moves you, comes out quick. They'll put the 4 points in Spiral Flame, 10-point Catastrophe, 10-point Perfect Shot, and 10-point Focus Shot. And if you're interested in what those pods are, you get Quick Aim, the Push Immunity, Defenseless Target, and Carpet Bombing. You could potentially use this one too, but I think this one is on to average higher damage. For Perfect Shot, you take Stable Stance, Perfect Aim, and Enhanced Shot. For Perfect Shot, that makes it where you don't have to hit the perfect moment. You can cancel it, and it goes on a 4-second cooldown. Cast it again, goes off at the end of the bar. And then there's Focus Shot, which some people do take the stun on. If you hit it, you follow up with like Perfect Shot. But I don't like that personally. I like taking the extra damage when they're below 50% HP, and it still knocks. I highly prefer that one, and that's what I would suggest you use too. And then you get the minimal amount of utility from pistols you need. You get the mobility on Peacekeeper. You get the 10% attack speed on Dexter Shot, so it comes out a little bit quicker. It's a good use of 4 points. 10 points into Holding Fire, make it a very quick engage here, or you can hold it for the super armor and then drop the grenades. Some people use the frost grenades on it. After you hold it, it'll throw frost grenades. And then there's Somersault Shot. I mean, this is just the core, and it's kind of what makes Gunslinger and Deadeye what they are. I would personally use the attack speed, evasion, and super armor. You could potentially use the magic control because this is a high mana consuming ability since you're spamming it. And sometimes you will run out of mana, but what I would say is if you're running out of mana, you're probably owning the enemy and you're probably going to win anyways. So just take the 10% attack speed so that you can potentially save yourself in a situation you may have died before. You can take the burn here. When you hit them, it'll burn them. You can take that for 1v1s since you won't need the evasion as much, but you can still use the evasion in 1v1s too, and that's going to help you out sometimes. And then we take the 7 points into Quick Step. This ability is very good for comboing, and it gives you push immunity. You can do Quick Step into Last Supper like this, or you can even do Quick Step into Catastrophe like that. Those are your big damage combos. Any way that you can get into Catastrophe or Last Request, that's where you're going to get your damage. And you can potentially even do a combo that both of them hit in. If they don't have Get Up, you can do them both while they're laying on the ground. But I think it's possible to do Last Request, freeze them before they hit the ground, and then Catastrophe. So you hit both of them in quick succession. Kind of hard to get that off, especially because people can peel you while you're using Last Request, since it doesn't have any immunities. Like, you'll just get hit. And then we have Freeze Grenade. You can either use the throw distance or the explosion radius, but you pretty much just always want to take Freeze. Having such a quick level 3 CC is super good. And then we have 0 points into Spiral Tracker and 0 points into Bullet Rain, which, quick note on Bullet Rain here, if you tap it, it doesn't go on cooldown really, and it'll give you like half a second or even a quarter second of stagger immunity. So very good when like a Berserker or a Demonic, aka Shadowhunter, are wanting to initiate on you and they're within range and you don't know if they are or not. You might just save yourself from getting it into a full combo by just tapping that sometimes. So yeah, that's like the Korean build. They take the minimal amount of necessary pistol utility. They go full damage Last Request, full damage sniper abilities, just kind of go all out. So on the complete opposite side of that, we can go full utility. You only take 7 points in Perfect Shot, 7 points in Last Request, and from there we have a lot of points to spend. You can take 4 into Spiral Tracker. I prefer the Swift Fingers. It just makes it throw out way quicker. So that way, potentially, if you hit like at a max range dex shot, sometimes if you don't have that attack speed, it actually won't combo. But with the attack speed, it'll combo more often. So I like the reliability of that. But potentially, you can take the crit chance. So when you hit them with it, you know, potentially your Last Request or your Catastrophe could crit, giving you a lot of extra damage. But I prefer the Swift Fingers. We already have these. You could potentially go 10 here. Take the double shots. Kind of confirm your hits and give you more push immunity. I really like this. I've played with this before, and I love it. But just to kind of go over the full utility build, we won't use that for now. But just think of that as an option. You could use that in this build. You could like take the 3 points out of Last Request and just put them there. I've done that in the Korean build, and I really love that build. But we'll put 7 points into it for now to kind of show you the full utility build. We'll take 7 points into Dexterous Shot. When you take this extra mobility on it, plus the attack speed, you're moving way faster than people just walk. So it'll help you get away from people. It'll help you chase people down. I love this pod. Playing with it, you get spoiled, and when you play without it, it kind of makes you sad. So it's almost like, yeah, I just love it. 4 points into it feels way less satisfying than 7. Obviously, 7 takes a good amount of points, but yeah, you get the idea. Peacekeeper, you pretty much only ever want to put 4 points into it. I could go over 7 points, but that's like a 1v1 thing, not a team deathmatch thing. So I'll just hold that for another video, maybe. But I would only use 4 points with the mobility. You can kind of use it as like a pseudo quick step where you move, shoot them twice, go in, do your damage. You get the idea. But mostly, you just use it for mobility. Just dash everywhere. Okay, and then we got Bullet Rain. We'll put 4 points into here, get the wide shot. That way it's easier to hit people, you know, you accidentally go to the side of them. Or you can catch 2 people in it a lot easier this way. I like this one a lot myself. For Hour of Judgment, I just wouldn't ever put 4 points into this unless you have the points for it. But I think in a build like this, you go 4 Shotgun Rapid Fire. You get this right here. In Dual Buckshot, you could even take a full 7 and get the movement with the push immunity. This is really nice for you'll be mobile and you'll have push immunity. So if your teammates are comboing and you want to follow up on it safely, they're comboing a guy, you get in there and do some safe damage. Pretty nice. I know some people that use this and they like it. So, and then for Sharpshooter, if you want to put 4 points into this, I highly suggest Endless Magic Bullet. So what happens here is you pressing it, you cancel it, and it only goes on a 10-second cooldown and it refunds mana. And the great thing here is, like, say there's another gunslinger coming at you with Dexterous Shot. You press this, you cancel into your own Dexterous Shot after your shotgun hits them, and you just full combo them. And your Sharpshooter is going to be up pretty soon again after that. That's just excellent because it's such a good ability. It hits really fast, which just makes people run into the stagger, and then you can full combo them afterwards. So at this point, we only have 4 points left because you can only go to 340 points in PvP, but there's nowhere else to put our points. So this is like, you lose damage on Last Request, you lose damage on Perfect Shot, but you have full utility, lots of utility. Potentially, if you wanted to put some points back into Perfect Shot, you could take this down to 4 and take this, where it's like, you can turn it, but that makes you so vulnerable. Like, if people saw you casting that, you're just a goner. So you really don't want to do that. You want 10 points in this ability. Like this. So your Perfect Shot will hit less. Your Last Request will hit less, but they're still very decent abilities to take for sure. So this is like the full utility build. And then there comes things in between, which I personally really like these in between builds. I don't like 10 points in last request. I like to take it down to 7 and then just use those points elsewhere. So that I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is the Korean builds right now. I just don't have 10 points in last request. So if I put those points there, I have 340. I take them out. I have some points to mess with from here. And what I like to do is put 7 points into dexterous shot, get that mobility. Like I said, I love that. Put these 4 into bullet rain, get the extra wide fire here. And then I like to put 4 points into shotgun rapid fire. And then take combo rapid fire. And put Hour of Judgment here. And this is what this build looks like. I'm almost at 340 here, I think. I have 4 more to spin. Oh, yeah. The other 4 is Spiral Tracker. And I take the Swift Fingers. Okay, there. Now we're at 340. So 4 into Spiral Tracker, 4 into Bullet Rain, put the 7 into Extra Shot, and the 4 into Shotgun Rapid Fire. And this just, I prefer this utility over having the extra damage in Last Request, but I really like having the extra damage on Perfect Shot because I hit this ability a lot over the course of a match. And so the damage really adds up. And sometimes, if I don't have 10 points into it, sometimes I just like, it doesn't feel worth using unless I'm going to get the knockdown. So it's more of a utility ability when you don't have 10 points into it, when you have 7, and it's like an actual damage ability when you have 10 into it, which just encourages you to use it more often. And it has paralysis immunity, so there are situations where I'm like kind of in somebody's face and I need to do damage to them, and this just makes me feel a lot safer than, like, say, Last Request, which doesn't have staggered immunity. So yeah, I think this is like my main build. Although one thing I like to change is I'll take 4 points out of this and put the 4 points into dual buckshot and take the 15% attack speed and just replace it. And like I said, what this allows me to do is do that combo I was talking about. That one. So pretty useful combo. But I do think overall the 4 points into Shotgun Rapid Fire is stronger. There's another really strong gunslinger named Darksma. He got second in the beta tournament, I believe, with his team. And the actual only difference in his build and mine is that he takes the 4 out of Bullet Rain here and he puts them in the Sharpshooter and puts it into Magic Bullet. And neither of us like talked to each other. We just both ended up with basically the same exact builds. I think the only pointer I took from him is the Swift Fingers instead of the crit. I like that change. But literally everything else is the same. Oh, also he likes to take 7 points in Perfect Shot, but 10 points in Last Request, which I kind of disagree with, but I think the reasoning there is that when you hit Perfect Shot, often people have shields, they have damage reduction, but if you're comboing somebody, typically they're not going to have those things. So when you hit Last Request, the damage is more true. You do a higher amount of damage than when you do with Perfect Shot. But my experience in matches is that I'm hitting double, if not more than double, Perfect Shots compared to Last Requests. It's just safer, more range, paralysis immunity. That's what I prefer, but I'm just telling you there's other options. So Darksmith's and I's build are almost exactly the same. It's really close. I like the Bullet Rain, he likes the Sharpshooter, I like the Perfect Shot, he likes the Last Request. So hopefully this gives you like a really good sense with how you can mess around with Lost Ark builds. We had the Korean build, or Gunslinger builds. We had the Korean build with full damage Last Request, full damage Perfect Shot, the lowest amount of pistol utility. And then we had the full utility, which just gives us tons of 4 and 7 pointers in shotgun and pistols. And then we have somewhere in between. And I like the in between. I don't like 10 points in Last Request, so I take that out and I distribute them accordingly. So yeah, hopefully that helps you guys. Please give me any feedback if you think I missed anything. And yeah, I'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching.